Chapter 4. Animals' Life. Introduction. Animals are found in all places on the earth. The place where an animal lives, feeds and reproduces is called its habitat. Animals living in a particular habitat have adapted themselves to the surroundings. We will study in this chapter about the different kinds of animals, their habitats, food habits and lifestyles. Different kinds of animals live around us. Animals are living creatures. Different animals have different sizes. Lifestyles of the animals is the way in which it lives, eats, breathes, moves and protects itself. Classification of animals. The scientists classify animals mainly on the basis of backbone. Animals with backbone are called vertebrates and without backbones are called invertebrates. Each vertebrate has a skeletal system inside its body. A skeleton is a structure which gives a proper shape and support to animal's body. The skeleton protects the internal body organs. It also helps in the movement of animals. Zoologists classify vertebrates into 5 main groups. They are as follows. 1. Mammals. 2. Amphibians. 3. Birds, avians. 4. Reptiles. 5. Aquatic animals. Mammals. Animals that give birth to their young ones and feed them with milk are called mammals. Mammals are the most complex animals on the earth. Man is highly developed of all animals. He is able to adapt himself to any type of surrounding. Body structure of mammals. Most of the mammals have 4 limbs. The 2 limbs in the front are called forelimbs and the 2 at the back are called hindlimbs. In most mammals, both the pairs of limbs are of the same types. These help them in walking, running, jumping, climbing and catching their prey. Monkeys, apes and gorillas can also use their forelimbs like man. Mammals are vertebrates with fur or hair on their body. They are warm-blooded animals. Mammals have more complex brain than other animals. Man is the highest form of mammals because he can think and solve difficult problems with the help of his highly developed brain. He can use his hand in different advanced ways. Feeding habits of mammals. Some mammals take in food and chew it with the help of their teeth. They have different types of teeth for cutting, biting, tearing and chewing. Life cycle of mammals. Mammals give birth to their young ones instead of laying eggs. They care and protect their young ones. Some mammals like kangaroos have a pouch in their belly for carrying its young ones. It gives warmth and protection to the young one. Female mammals produce milk in their breasts. They feed their young ones with this milk. Migration in mammals. Elephant herds travel many miles through the jungle in search of food and water. They need a lot of water every day and finding water in summer becomes a problem. Some whales migrate from the North Pole to warmer seas in the tropics. There they try to give birth to their young ones. When it gets too warm here, parents and children swim back together. Classification of mammals. Zoologists have classified mammals on the basis of their feeding habits. All animals need food to grow, to remain healthy and to get energy to do different kinds of works. Different animals eat different types of food. Their mouth parts are modified according to the type of food they eat. Mammals are classified on the basis of their feeding habits. 1. Carnivores. Carnivores like lion, tiger and cat eat meat. They have sharp and pointed canines teeth to tear the flesh, and strong grinding teeth to chew flesh and break bones. 2. Herbivores. Herbivores like cow, goat and giraffe eat plants. They have sharp front incisors teeth to cut plants and strong broad molars teeth to grind and chew the food. 3. Rodents. Rodents like squirrel, rabbit and mouse eat seeds and fruits. They have small and sharp front teeth which help them gnaw at food. 4. Omnivores. Omnivores like humans, bear and crow eat plants as well as meat. They have incisors and molars teeth to help them eat both kinds of. Amphibians. Animals that can live both in water and on land are called amphibians. Some animals such as frogs, toads, salamanders, crocodiles, tortoise and water sharks can live in water and on the land. They are called amphibians. They also spend a part of their life in water and on the land. Body structure of amphibians. Amphibians vary in their sizes and shapes. They have all the features of a fish like gills and fins. Amphibians are cold-blooded animals. They have thin, soft and moist skin. The moist skin is usually used for breathing. Frog has adaptations to breathe both on land and in water. On land it uses its lungs to breathe and in water it breathes through its moist skin. Some amphibians like frogs and toads have no tails. Amphibians, like frogs and toads, have webbed feet, short forelimbs and long hind limbs. Hind limbs help in swimming and for leaping on the ground. Most of the amphibians breathe by taking air into their lungs. But they breathe in air through the skin, mouth and throat. Some amphibians that live only in water have gills throughout their life. Some amphibians like salamanders and sirens have long tails and 4 legs. Their forelimbs are shorter than their hind limbs. Some amphibians like caecilians have no legs. Amphibians that have 4 legs crawl on the ground and that have no legs either swim or creep on the ground. Feeding habits of amphibians. Amphibians mostly eat other animals, insects, termites and spiders. Frogs feed mostly on insects like flies and beetles and also on worms. A frog uses its sticky tongue to capture its prey. The tongue is fixed in front and free behind. An octopus uses its 8 arms to move in water as well as to catch its prey. A water crab uses its front legs with sharp teeth to catch its prey. Amphibians are cold-blooded animals. Their body temperature rises and falls with their surroundings. During winter, amphibians take long sleep. They bury themselves under the mud. This period is called hibernation. They use less energy and need less food during this period. Birds, avians. Birds are warm-blooded vertebrates that have feather on their body covering. They are able to fly due to their structure. Birds are the only animals with feathers. Feathers keep the bird's body warm and help them in flying. Body structure of a bird. All birds have a pair of wings. These are modified into forelimbs. Birds have powerful chest muscles, which help them to move up and down. Birds can walk on land and fly in air. They move their wings downwards and slightly backwards. This lifts the bird upwards and makes it move forward. The feathers on the wings and tails also help in flight. The feather act as a rubber to change direction and help the bird in landing. The lightness of their bones also helps in their flight. The legs are used for walking, running, catching and holding prey and also attacking the enemies. Sometimes the toes are webbed for swimming, as in ducks. Legs of different birds have different types of claws that help them in perching and catching the prey. Some birds like peacocks and fowls can fly only for short distances, whereas some birds like ostrich and emu do not fly at all. Feeding habits of birds. Birds eat various kinds of food. Some birds feed on animals only, while others are purely vegetarian. Birds have beaks specially designed to catch or pick up their food. Reptiles. Reptiles are the animals that crawl on land. They are vertebrates and have dry and scaly skin. Reptiles are also cold-blooded animals. They have thick, scaly and dry skin which help to maintain their body fluid. Reptiles have well-developed lungs. Even reptiles use lungs to breathe. Reptiles like lizard, tortoise, turtle and crocodile have limbs and still they crawl on the ground. Snakes are reptiles that do not have limbs. Instead, the scales on the lower side of its body help it to move. They grip uneven ground and help to move forward. Snakes can even climb on trees easily. They are able to do this by means of the broad plates on the lower side of their body. These plates have their free ends facing backwards, so that they can catch against any rough surface. To each plate is attached a pair of ribs, which act somewhat like legs with each plate as foot. To allow free movement, the backbone of the snake is flexible and the body is provided with strong muscles. Feeding habits of reptiles. Different reptiles have different feeding habits. Most of the reptiles swallow their food as a whole. They take time to digest their food. Some snakes have long fangs that have venom to kill their prey, whereas some snakes kill their prey by squeezing it. The chameleons catch insect by shooting out their long sticky tongue. Aquatic animals. Animals that live in water are called aquatic animals. Animals like fish are the simplest group of vertebrates. They swim with the help of fins. These act like the oars of boats. They help the fish to move forward, balance itself, and change directions. Body structure of aquatic animals. Fish are cold-blooded animals. The temperature of their body is same as the environment they live in. This helps them in living with varying water temperatures. Most of the fish have fins and tails. Fins are the bony limbs covered with the skin. They use their fins or tails to move through the water. All aquatic animals like crabs, prawns and oysters breathe through certain special structures called gills. Fish use oxygen dissolved in water for breathing. Gills are present on each side of the fish's head. Gills help fish to get oxygen from the water. As water enters its mouth, it passes over to the gills. Oxygen in the water moves into the gills. Carbon dioxide from the body is given off through the gills. Water with carbon dioxide then passes out of the body through slits or openings. The gills are red because they receive a good supply of blood. Most fish lay eggs. The eggs hatch into small fish. Some fish, like guppies, give birth to their young ones instead of laying eggs. Migration in aquatic animals. Migration is a periodic movement of animals from one place to another and back to their original homes when the favorable conditions return. Migration actually takes place in search of food or unfavorable climate changes. Fish also migrate from one place to another. The eel, a snake-like bony fish, spends part of its lifetime at sea and in fresh water. It travels about 1,200 kilometers in 3 months.